Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late June 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Cappies. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for Capricorn in late June? It is Cancer season at the moment. Beautiful time of year. What energies, messages, insights do we have for my friends? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. Let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Cappy in late June, please and thank you. Let's get this first card out here nice and quick. Okay, yeah, being a little particular. There it goes. Thank you very much. Okay, all right, this card always has a lot of symbolism embedded within it, and it is kind of connected to creativity mostly. So there's a lot of imagination at play whenever I see this card, and it's really good, it's really expressive, and it's a nice way for us to start regardless of what the tarot message is. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little more in depth about this card. So if you see the image here, there's an art model right in the center. There's paintings and sculptures and all sorts of different artistic representations here. So first and foremost, now could be an amazing time for any Capricorn to really express themselves creatively in whatever way is most comfortable for you. So whether that's artistically or writing, you name it, now's a good time to let those creative juices flow. I often see this card attached to water sign energy. So, I mean, your mind might be going a little bit here. This is very imaginative. So just know, maybe in this time you might be daydreaming a little more than you normally do. But any creative pursuit, any creative endeavor is highly favored. Okay, so I think this is good. So whether it's business or just for recreation, I feel like this is really nice. But it does have that etheric water sign type of vibe to it. So I want to see what shows up within the reading itself. Let's put her down right there. She could keep posing. Let's get into tarot now. And yeah, I'm going to get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. So let's shuffle it up one time for Cappy and see what we got, my guides, for late June. And while we get this all shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Felt like there were a lot of big energies culminating for a lot of the Capricorn collective. The reading was titled The End of a Chapter. And to me, it felt like in this time, whether it was last week, this week, or even moving forward in the near future, a lot of you could be really turning the page in life. Okay, like setting a new standard or setting a new chapter into motion. It felt good to me. It didn't have anything like super concerning. I wasn't seeing like 10 of Swords energy. It was kind of like, all right, on to the next chapter. So we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energies are very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. Well, let's get it going here. 3 cards for my Cappy friends, Gods and Spirit team. I mean, maybe those energies could linger a little bit like we saw last week. I know I always see that whenever there's like karmic-like energy showing up. And yeah, speak of the, I don't want to say speak of the devil, but speak of the karma, we have Lady Justice in position number 1. Now this could be really good, very powerful, balanced, fair type of energy. And of course, karmic, as I was just mentioning. So we're going to want to check her out further for sure. Let's get a couple more. What do we got for Capricorn here? Thank you. Queen of Swords, lots of air. So I know I was speaking about water sign energy, a lot of daydreaming or imaginative type of vibes. Now, these energies are also extremely mental. Lots of mental action happening here across the board. And I'll explain why in a moment. Here we go. All right, 6 of Swords. So all air showing up here. Now, this is good. This could be for like progress and moving things forward. Really like the 6 of Swords energy. So let's get that tucked in over there by the Celestite. So yeah, let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. So at first glance, I know I was making a little commentary as the cards were coming out. Elementally, all air energy here. So whether it's air signs you're connected to, or whether it's just that energy holding strong, when we see swords in tarot, they're very fast moving energy. It's quick. It's something that comes and goes really quick. It like strikes, and it's mental, speaking of the mind state, thought process, but also communication, speaking and talking. So we have some big archetypes that we'll want to piece together. Let's go piece by piece and really start to build it out. So position number one, we have a good friend here, Lady Justice, chilling right there by the amethyst. And it's a good card to me. You might be connected to Libra. This is the card that connects to Libra. But if that's not the case, she could mean so many different things. First and foremost, she could represent anything contractual or legal. So some of you, if you're going through anything in that realm, she could be showing up. She's a big card of decisions. She's a card of fairness. Is something fair? Is it balanced? And it's protocol. It goes by a certain step. So there, you might be going through a process whenever Lady Justice is in the mix. If that's not the case, though, again, since she is about fairness and balance, and she is holding the scales, biggest karmic card in the whole entire deck. Now, karmic things kind of link in with what we were seeing last week. It's the cycles of life. Of course, sometimes karmic things could represent, you know, what you put out, you get in return, or somebody getting their karma in one way or another. I'm not going to call that yet until we see the clarifier. But to me, she does represent those changes, cycles, and powerful cycles at play. So we'll look into her a little further. It's a calm, serene type of energy, though. Even though there's like a lot of mental action going on here, it's like stoic. That's kind of what I'm picking up here in the front. Moving to the center, we have our good friend, Queen of Swords. Haven't seen her in quite a while. Again, air sign energy. So Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, if you're connected to one. Not gender specific, of course. And queens represent the internal aspect of their suit. So I already told you what swords kind of represent. The Queen of Swords is very stern, serious, straight to the point. She's honest. She's going to tell you the cold, hard truth no matter what. She's a big card of planning, strategy, but she's also a communicator. The big thing I say with the Queen of Swords is that she could be a little cold. She could be a little harsh sometimes, like cold, hard, honest truth whenever we see her. So there could be a situation that calls for this Queen of Swords type of energy. Maybe this is an energy that you're stepping to internally, where it's like, no, we're going to do this by the book. For some reason, I'm getting at here with like Lady Justice, Queen of Swords. It's like, do this by the book, or we're going to play by the rules in one way or another, which could be good or bad. But another thing I say with the Queen of Swords, though, is she is very serious. So whether we're looking at serious topics, or whether it's someone acting very stern, serious, and stoic, we'll want to take a look at her. But again, the rougher aspect of the Queen of Swords is that she could be cold. She could be a little mean. So hopefully you're not dealing with somebody that's a little too cold or mean in this time. Now on to the back end, we have very positive, action-based type of card. We have the Six of Swords. For some of you, this could represent distance, travel, your mode of transportation. So there could be topics in regards to stuff like that. But the Six of Swords is coming out of the choppy waters into the calm. We see action, we see improvement with this card, and that's a beautiful thing. Again, with sword energy, it moves rather quickly. And with all this air, it's like something could pick up steam quick. It's like, all right, we're setting something up, and then boom, the action comes in at the end. When we get to the challenge of the Six of Swords, because remember, every card has a challenge. There might be someone you're connected to, or someone in your life where you feel like they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, or they're not doing something right, or they're not playing by the rules when this card is here. Worst case scenario could be someone feeling a little abandoned as well. But we're not fully going to go there just yet. So Cappy, as you could see, we have a lot of intriguing archetypes to really take a look at and play with this week. I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for my Cappies. What is going on, my guys? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on Lady Justice here. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Capricorn, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Lady Justice time. What is this about? Give us a little more detail. What is Justice here? Thank you. Eight of Cups. Oh yeah. Hands of Karma could absolutely be at play. Now, I'm getting several different messages that are coming through strong. First and foremost, she's connected to a card of action. Eight of Cups is like, let's move forward. some people say, yeah, sometimes it could be walking away from something. So if you've been having a struggle, you might be tempted to say, screw this. Like you might have that mindset in this time. So just know that. Aside from that, that mental place, I feel like there could be some sort of karmic action at play, which we saw last week. Okay, so we'll see if we get any more detail of what the universe is planning, what the universe is doing, because it's like, all right, well, this needs to be made right, or someone deserves their piece of karma. Like that's a vibe I'm picking up here. Now, the Eight of Cups, classically, again, it's an action card, either walking away from something or making a big move. And we also have action here on the back end. So we really want to see what all this action is linked to. So again, either the karmic hands are at play, or you're wanting to see something made right. It's like, all right, this needs to be made right in one form or another. Let's just keep moving forward and see if we get more detail, though. Let's go in on Queen of Swords, not Lady Justice. We already saw her. Okay, and yeah, that urge to say, screw this, screw it, which is not very Capricorn-like to me. I mean, in my opinion, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, Capricorns are generally dedicated to certain things. Like when they set their mind to something, they're going to get to the top of that mountain one way or another. But there could just be a situation that you're going through where you're just like, yeah, not worth it, not worth the effort. Let's keep moving forward. Let's see why Queen of Swords is here. Could be any of those messages. I don't want to overcomplicate it or confuse. So why is the Queen of Swords here? Okay. Okay. So for a portion of you, there might be something you are no longer willing to speak about or someone you are cutting contact with. We have the Eight of Wands in reverse underneath this Queen of Swords. If it's not that, there could just be someone you're just not in communication with right now. Eight of Wands in reverse, I mean, that could bring some complications because it's a mindset of if I'm not moving forward, I'm moving backwards. Okay, or it's like, you know, I've already made it this far. I don't want to take a step back. It's like giving me this kind of energy, which is peculiar. Just want to mention again, along with the karmic energy, we have double eights on the bottom. Signs, synchronicities, omens, pay attention to them. The spirit could be telling you, like with the Queen of Swords, Eight of Wands in reverse, watch for the signs, because spirit could be trying to get a message through to you or get your attention in one way or another. But aside from that, this Eight of Wands is usually a very fast action card. It's moving forward, it's hot and heavy, it's also messages and talking. So when I see it in reverse, again, it's like, all right, well, I don't want to take a step back. I'm here to move forward, or I've made so much progress, I don't want to lose that progress. Okay. It's like sunk cost type of energy. This is very peculiar the way this is coming through. Yeah, again, aside from that, there might be someone that you're either not talking to, or you might decide to stop talking about a topic or a situation in general, where it's like, yeah, no, not even talking about it. Let's keep moving over to the Six of Swords, though, because now we have this interesting play of energy going on where it's like, yeah, we have action, then it's like taking a step back. Let's see where it moves further. Okay. And for a portion of you, yeah, maybe there's been a situation or something that's caused a little speed bump or a hiccup, delay. But let's see what the Six of Swords has to say. We'll talk about it more during the recap. I feel like your reading this week is much more layered than it normally is. So why is the Six of Swords here? Thank you. Judgment. Boom. There it is. Okay, if you've been experiencing any difficulties, step backs, or anything like that, this is explosive action here on the back end. And I'm going to explain it to you because it's here elementally and it's here with the cards. Another karmic energy, so there could be big shifts and changes, just like we saw last week. It's all over the place here, Capricorn. So if things have been quiet for you in recent times, I wouldn't expect it to stay that way for long, right? And life is all about perpetual change, but to me, this feels like, okay, well, you wanted it, you got it. It's like giving me that kind of vibe. Now, Judgment, very similar to Justice, making something right, taking action. This is Plutonian change-based type of energy. So when I see it underneath the Six of Swords, remember I said it's like, all right, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and then boom, this explosive change or action coming in right here on the back end. And again, it could be universal in nature as well. Sometimes when the universe sets us on a path, it's not always the most comfortable. Right? Like the mission, the journey, it's not always the most comfortable. We might not be ready for certain changes, but when the karmic energies are at play and when the universe says, hey, it's time for something, it's going to happen one way or another. But again, I feel you going with the flow here. I feel you being very accepting of this shift of energy, this karmic energy, this change. So I'm liking what I'm seeing here. But yeah, we're bookending the reading with very similar energies. So I do see you succeeding with something here. Let's go through and do a quick recap because again, very layered type of reading. Only take what hits for you. Maybe this is someone even you're connected to that's going through like massive changes of some sort. But if you kindly look in the box before the shadow card, position number 1, we have our good friend here, Lady Justice, clarified by the 8 of Cups in the upright. I did say some of you might have a mode and mindset where it's like, okay, yeah, screw this, like I'm not putting any more energy into something. That could be very possible. I did also say the karmic energies are still at play, like we saw last week. So whether it's somebody getting what they deserve, there might be something you feel needs to be made right as well. Moving to the center, we have the Queen of Swords with the 8 of Wands in reverse. So now we have the double 8s, we have the double karmic cards, big omen signs, synchronicities. Your spirit team might be trying to catch your attention and have you take a closer look at something. But again, I see there's either something you might not be even willing to, like, I'm not going to discuss it. I'm not even going to visit this topic. For a portion of you, there could be issues with communication where you're cutting contact with someone, or there's like no conversation, or it's just like pulling teeth. Moving to the back end, we have the 6 of Swords with Judgment in the upright. And again, remember, I was like 2 steps forward. This is like 1 step back. It's like, oh, well, I've come this far. I don't want to lose something. Boom, here comes the change, here comes the forward progress, where it's like, okay, we're starting, there's a speed bump, boom, now there's this explosive karmic change based type of energy here on the back end, and it's moving in a good place. So I want to say for a lot of you, if you've been dealing with something or a setback or anything like that, I see you moving in a much more positive place, and there is this universal energy attached to it. It's like, all right, well, ready or not, here it comes. It's like giving me that vibe. So yeah, please take a screenshot of that, Cappy. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. Very intriguing reading, totally different flavor than the rest of the zodiac I've been reading for this weekend. So what's happening with my Cappies? What's in the shadows? And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get it going here. What is in the shadows? Let's get this shadow card for my good friends. Yeah, now it's being a little particular again. So I find that funny that the very first oracle card is like being super particular. Now this one's being particular, and for anyone that's new here, I only read jumpers. That's a big thing for me. Okay, so we have our good friend, the King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups himself, with a tentacle beard. That's funky, right? So the King of Cups, again, we're bookending the front and back with water sign type of energy. So you might be connected to a water sign. And what does the King of Cups generally represent? Emotional control. So when I see this in the shadows for some Cappies in this time, you might have some emotional spikes. There might be some emotions that you're dealing with privately as well. That's a big thing with the King of Cups in the shadows. There might be a feeling or something you're thinking or something that's really, really deep that you're not really sharing with someone when this card shows up, and that's okay, right? You don't have to be an open book to everyone in the world. The King of Cups could also represent emotions and love, all that beautiful creative energy as well. So for some of you with this in the shadows, this could be a very strong connection with someone very near and dear to your heart. So I don't feel like this is completely a rough one. Just know that there's a very powerful, strong emotional energy going through the Capricorn collective. So yeah, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, my digital calendar is open on mastermetaphysics.com, so go ahead and check that out. And if you got your name in for the May subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this weekend's readings. But for the June subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Gilded Tarot Royale. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments if you could snap your fingers and visit anywhere in the world right now. Where would it be? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.